Dinesh D'Souza has been going around saying that Nazism is a left-wing ideology. There is actually a channel called, I believe it was Democratic Socialist. Go check out his videos. He does very deep debunking of that bullshit lie. And I really enjoyed his videos on that. But anyways, what he's going to try to tell you here is that there's an equivalence between nationalism of anti-colonialism. So, for example, he's going to talk about Ghandi, who wanted to have full rights and to remove this occupying force and this colonizing force, which effectively becomes a client state, and they're basically jacking you of all of your resources. And he draws that equivalence between a group of people wanting to, or saying that they are legitimately, genetically, and in every way superior to another race because of their skin color, which clearly is not. And check it out here.
That is how you said that it kind of moved from, we can't have them die for, I forgot the cause exactly, but we can have them die for the idea of country. And I'm a little bit confused, and I'm hoping you can clarify this, because part of just focusing on Trump, a lot of his branding was about America. Make America great again. The America First ideology that says before everything else comes the country, the nation.
Let me restate your question slightly. You're saying Trump is an outright nationalist. Make America great again. Wasn't Mussolini an outright nationalist? Wasn't Hitler make Germany great again? Right? That's the thrust of your argument. When you try to identify a phenomenon, always ask, what is it about that phenomenon that is distinctive? Not only what is characteristic, but what is distinctive, because that's going to define the phenomenon at its core, right? So that's the point. Nationalism is in fact characteristic of fascism, but nationalism is equally found on the left, as all the anti-colonial liberation movements were without exception nationalistic. They all they wanted to make Ghana great again, and they want to make India great again. So the fact that they were nationalistic by itself does not make them in any way fascist.
This is something I had to talk about because it's such false equivalency, and we live in a huge era of false equivalencies here. What he's basically equating is this idea that Ghandi, who he says is an ultra-nationalist, is the same as somebody who's like Richard Spencer, who's a nationalist. This is totally false, and I'm going to tell you why. It's pretty obvious, but I'm going to break this down. So Ghandi was not a racist person, number one. Number two, Ghandi he didn't want the British out because they were white. He wanted the British out because, number one, he wanted independence, and he wanted full rights as a citizen. He wanted his people to control their own fate, his country. And he wanted to remove this occupying force, which turned them into a client state and was jacking them of all of their natural resources. So, and then you have Richard Spencer, who has never been persecuted for his skin color, has enjoyed the privilege and the benefits for hundreds of years of having the upper hand on African American people and virtually every minority in the country. So there is a vast difference between Ghandi, who was not a racist but wanted to remove an occupying force because they were not giving him rights. They turned their country into a client state that was jacking all their natural resources and leading to the harm and the hunger and the destroyment of many people and their livelihoods, to somebody like Richard Spencer, who has never been the victim of being a client state or having his natural resources being jacked. He's simply a racist who thinks that his skin color basically gives him a supremacy of other people. And the idea that nationalism is different than supremacy, no, it's not. In this context, nationalism is supremacy because it's the same argument of segregation. It's just instead of segregating within a country, you're going to segregate between countries. And I say, oh, I don't hate that. I don't think I'm better. It's just I think that we should keep our culture and all of you motherfuckers should get out. Well, why would you think that then if you want everybody to get out? So drawing this false equivalency is one of the most dangerous things possible between someone like Richard Spencer and Ghandi, because I'm telling you, it doesn't fucking exist. What's up, guys? It's Sahil here. You guys are watching The Progressive Voice. Make sure you guys click subscribe down below. We're fighting Donald Trump tooth and nail, and we need your help.